Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're the kind of traveler who absolutely loves digging through the old, the hidden, and the totally one-of-a-kind, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're cracking open the insider's playbook to shopping in Istanbul's incredible Balat neighborhood. We're going to completely bypass those usual tourist trails and figure out exactly how to hunt down unique treasures in this super fascinating historic district. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive right into this. There's a massive contrast we need to talk about. You know, when most people think of souvenir shopping in a big city, they picture the typical tourist strip. It's rushed, it's packed with mass-produced fridge magnets, and frankly, it's a bit soulless. But then, you have the Balat experience. This is all about dusty antiques, vibrant local art, and what I like to call the slow hunt. Balat isn't just a quick stop to buy things. It's a whole browsing territory, where honestly, half the joy is the exploration itself.
Which brings us right to Section 1, the hunt, what to actually buy. So here, we're really elevating the whole idea of a keepsake. We are absolutely skipping the cheap plastic. Instead, you're on the lookout for souvenirs with actual character. Picture this, bringing home small, beautifully woven Kilim rugs or authentic textiles. Or how about a genuine Nazar Banshugu, that famous blue evil-eyed charm, but actually crafted in real ceramic or glass. You'll also spot these stunning, hand-painted İznik or Kütahya-style ceramics, and of course, incredibly aromatic Turkish coffee or local spices. Basically, you're looking for items that carry the real flavor and history of Istanbul.
But honestly, Balat goes way deeper than just souvenirs. It's got this massive antique and vintage streak. Imagine sifting through genuine Ottoman-era bric-a-brac, or leafing through stacks of old black and white photographs. You can flip through crates of vinyl records, browse shelves of old film cameras, and even dig through racks of retro denim and leather. And the absolute best part? The stock turns over so incredibly fast. If you go back a second time, you'll rarely see the exact same things twice. It literally makes every single visit a totally unique hunt.
All right, now that you know what to look for, let's move on to Section 2, mapping the treasure, where to shop. So, the shopping in Balat isn't just spread out randomly. It's actually clustered together in this wonderfully compact little area. The absolute main artery, like the real hub of the action, is Yildirim Caddesi. That's where you'll find the heaviest concentration of those antique stuff shops and cozy cafes. Then you've got Vodina Caddesi, which just adds even more layers to explore. And finally, there are the steep side lanes like Lapçıncılar Yokusu. These little side streets are brilliant because they hide the smaller, slightly more obscure dealers. And keep in mind, these are the exact same streets famous for Balat's incredibly colorful historic houses, so you're literally shopping right in the middle of a living postcard.
And this brilliantly illustrates your ultimate cheat sheet for the neighborhood. So if you're after antiques, definitely hit Yildirim Caddesi. But heads up, prices vary wildly, so inspect things closely and be ready to bargain. For vintage clothes and vinyl, duck into those side streets I mentioned. Prices drop there and become super affordable. If local art is your thing, peek into the small studios for mid-range, often totally one-off pieces. And for those high-character souvenirs, stick to the main strip shops where prices are pretty cheap to mid-range. Just keep this mental map in your back pocket and you'll be navigating Balat like a total local.
I actually want to pause here for a second and share this fantastic insight from photographer Sam Whitfield. He says, the shop fronts themselves are half the reason to come. Antiques spilling onto the pavement, hand-painted signs, a cat in the window. Shoot them before you buy, ask the owner first, and you will usually get a smile and a better browse. It's just such a great reminder, right? The visual charm of Balat is an experience all on its own. The atmosphere is literally spilling right out onto the pavement.
So, you found the shop, you spotted the perfect item. Now it's time for Section 3, the art of the deal. Let's talk bargaining basics.
Bargaining in Balat is this delicate little social dance, and you absolutely need to know the steps. First off, simply ask the price. Second, and this is completely crucial, show genuine interest and actually chat with the owner. Don't just point and grunt, Ask them about the item. Finally, counter politely. A pretty realistic aim in Balat is getting about 10 to 20% off the marked price. Maybe a bit more if you're picking up a few things at once.
But you've got to follow the rules of engagement here. Gentle bargaining is fully expected in the antique and souvenir shops, but absolutely do not try to haggle in cafes or fixed-price boutiques. It's just not done. Don't be that person. Oh, and a super practical tip, always carry cash. Some of the smaller, most interesting dealers might not take cards at all, and there's no way you want to lose out on a one-of-a-kind find just because you only brought plastic. And most importantly, never push a bargain so hard that it stops being a friendly interaction. Let's build on that with the little secret straight from a local. Food and culture writer Lena Avramidis notes, browse slowly and chat before you ask a price. In Balat, the dealers reward interest, not haste. A coffee and a conversation can knock more off than hard bargaining ever will. I mean, how true is that? In Balat, human connection is the real currency. Show some respect for their history and their shop, and the owners will absolutely reward you for it.
Okay, we need to drop the pace for a quick second here for our most high-stakes topic, Section 4, the customs rule, exporting antiques.
I really need you to ask yourself this before you hand over any cash. Can you actually take antiques out of Turkey?
So here is the absolute crucial point. Genuine antiquities, which is broadly defined as anything of real historical age, cannot legally leave Turkey without an official permit. Full stop. This is the rule that catches people out, and trying to smuggle protected historical items is a very, very serious offense. Trust me, you do not want to mess around with this at the airport.
But hey, don't panic. The good news is that the vast majority of what you're going to browse and buy in Balat is vintage, reproduction, or just what we might call lovely old but not ancient stuff. And those are perfectly fine to pack in your suitcase and take home. If a dealer claims a piece is genuinely ancient, just ask for the official paperwork. And if you're ever in doubt, just play it safe and pick a different, fun vintage piece instead.
With those legalities completely out of the way, let's plan out your visit in Section 5, the Balat Rhythm, planning your day.
Look, shopping in Balat isn't like doing a mad dash to a mall right before it closes. It operates on very relaxed, owner-run hours. Most places won't even flip the open sign until late morning, and they'll just sort of run into the evening. Some of the smaller dealers just open up whenever they feel like it. The area is definitely at its absolute busiest on the weekends, so if you want some quiet, focused browsing time, definitely go in the morning. But if you want a lively, buzzing atmosphere, the afternoon is completely your sweet spot. Really, just treat your shopping here as an experience to weave through your day, maybe between a few coffees, rather than some strict, timed errand.
I also want to clear up a super common misconception. People are always asking, hey, is there a grand bazaar in Balat? And the answer is no, not in the traditional sense. Balat is a scatter of independent antique and vintage shops. If you're really hunting for that massive covered hall or a sprawling flea market buzz, you'll want to skip Balat for that specific need and take a short walk over to the nearby Fatih district for the Karzamba, or Wednesday market. Basically, Balat is for boutique hunting, while Karzamba is for that true chaotic street market energy.
Which leaves us with one final thought as we wrap up this explainer. When you finally walk the vibrant, steep streets of Balat, will you just buy a souvenir, or will you hunt for a story? Because in Balat, surrounded by all that history, cats lounging in windows, and the incredible smell of Turkish coffee, the true value of what you bring home is the memory of the hunt itself. So get out there, chat with the locals, and hey, happy hunting!